psychology.
The ease with which the Israelis were fooled by the Egyptian double agent is another bit of evidence for this psychology of overconfidence that so hampered them before the Yom Kippur War. They simply thought that they were far too clever to be fooled by Egyptian intelligence, but that's exactly what happened.
As the Israeli cabinet meets that crucial morning, however, they are unaware that they have been duped. That afternoon, the source requests an urgent meeting in London. The Mossad head, Zvika Zamir, flies to meet with him. The message is bleak. Egypt will attack across the canal at 6 p.m. the following evening. Yom Kippur. Early in the morning, Prime Minister Meir leaves for an emergency meeting of her cabinet. Just 8 hours before the attack, mobilization is ordered. Israeli reservists race to their units. Full mobilization needs 48 hours, but the Israelis don't even get the 8 hours they think the source has given them. At 2 in the afternoon, Egyptian guns open up along the Suez Canal on the forts of the Bar-Lev line. Troops race down the banks and set off in assault boats. In less than an hour, Egypt has 14,000 men across. Pontoon bridges are built. The 500 Israeli troops and the 40 tanks on the Bar-Lev line are overrun or besieged. By 8 the next morning, the Egyptians have 90,000 men and 850 tanks across the canal, and their 5 bridgeheads form an almost continuous line some 5 miles deep into the Sinai. For Israel, it's time to move to the third requirement of the counterstrike battle plan: the timing and surprise of their counterstrike. As soon as units reach the front. The Israeli tank crews expect the Egyptian infantry to run, as they had in previous confrontations. Instead, the Egyptians hold their ground. But the Egyptian war plan takes the Israelis by surprise in another way. Instead of racing forward into the Sinai, where they can be picked off by Israeli planes and tanks, they remain within a defensive umbrella. Lethal and well-concealed long-range anti-tank rockets and guns open up. "53 out of the Sinai Division's 300 tanks are hit and put out of action. The Israeli Air Force comes under intense attack from the latest Soviet surface-to-air missiles. 35 aircraft are shot down in the first 24 hours. Vital air support is abandoned. The next day, October 8th, the 1st Israeli Reserve's 8 armored brigades arrived to bolster the shattered Sinai Division. Again, they are thrown into the assault without waiting to concentrate their forces and firepower. It is a disaster. Egyptian anti-tank rocket teams pick off the Israeli tanks from their concealed positions. The Israeli battle plan for counterstrike has failed totally. Israel's leaders discuss the need for a ceasefire.